Going live, and
Okay.
we are live now. What is
Oh,
up, everyone?
hey, hi.
Welcome to another client spotlight series. I actually decided to call it the Client Launch Chronicles today because we're going to
Oh,
dive deeper into the launch experience that my clients have had applying the launch methodology that I share with them. And so we're going to have such a great conversation where we're going to take you behind the scenes of Caitlin's launch. She had a $46,000 launch, and I can't wait to tell you all the details. But first, I'm going to share this in my group. So, Caitlin, while I do that, go ahead and introduce yourself.
hi. I'm Caitlin.
I was going to do it, but I got to share this. So, you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, you do that. I'll introduce. I'm Caitlin. I am the founder of the Modern Queen. I help early stage female entrepreneurs grow profitable businesses online.
Amen.
And particularly healers and coaches. I
So
work with
good.
women whose mission is to help heal the planet. Hello, what we need forever, but especially these days.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, let me just mute this. So
Yeah.
we're live in my group, we're live here. And so as I just shared with you, if you're just joining live, I'm so excited because I want to take you behind the scenes of Caitlin's transformation. She's one of my mastermind clients, and she came to me when she was having inconsistent 5K months. And then she went on to have her first, how much was it?
Like 19K, 20K.
19K, like 19,800. We did a Facebook Live about that. And
Which was
then,
April, I
yes.
think, right? March, April. So yeah. Yep.
And then she went on to have her first 45K launch and sign her first five-figure client. And so we want to take you behind the scenes of what she did from a mindset perspective. What were her beliefs before and after? What helped her get through it all so that you can learn if you're in the middle of a launch or if you're signing clients or if you're in the process of attracting clients, you can take so much of her wisdom and apply it to your business. So we really are going to literally be super transparent about her launch, her numbers and everything. And then like what she did in order to get here. Cool?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay!
All in.
Okay. So we were talking about some things that we want to share with all of you. And some of the questions in my group were, what was your primary belief that you had before that was sabotaging you from getting the success that you really wanted? And then what was your belief during the launch, right? So with that in mind, we're going to share all of that with you guys. That's one of the things we're going to talk about. But first, for people to understand the context, I want you to tell them a little bit about where were you at when we first started working together, just really briefly. And then you joined my mastermind. Why did you decide to join? And then what were some of the biggest breakthroughs that you had in the very beginning when you started having that 19K month that helped you get to that result?
Yeah. I've been in business for a few years now, Modern Queen, since last, whatever, spring, something like that. So, had done some sprints, one-on-one clients, amazing, doing really, really well as far as just creating something I was really excited about, passionate about, landed my purpose is really what the whole thing felt like.
Right.
But there was kind of frustration, okay, I'm having some momentum. Yay. I've got some amazing clients. Yay. They're having some amazing results. But there was it felt like there was this next level, right? And I was like, how the heck do I get there?
Right.
I guess it's what we call a glass ceiling, right?
Yes.
And then this sense of and we talked about this a little bit, Juliana, in private, where the people I surround myself with now, my coaches, my friends, my colleagues and stuff like this are in kind of a mindset where making bank is normal.
Yeah.
And almost, not, I wouldn't say expected, but celebrated.
Yeah.
And this is what we're doing. We're doing, we're being extremely professional and saying yes to offering premium products, premium prices. I still feel like I was kind of graduating from an old mindset, from an old community kind of phase that I used to be in, where it was almost as if it's not spiritual to be wealthy. Even though my self, it's funny, my deepest self has always been, I'm abundance, but it was almost there was a disconnect. Let's just say there was some kind of inherent disconnect, and I didn't quite have the receptive, like the receptivity to be able to even maybe receive.
Yeah.
And I think I also had a belief in there that like, well, wow, who's gonna, like, if you're coming to people who don't have money as their mindset, there's, you're going to think that nobody has the money to pay for something. But since I've been on this mission, I'm like, oh no, people have money.
Yeah.
There's money flowing around. And like, you just have to get really smart about what you're doing, how you present yourself in the niche that you choose.
Yeah.
And know that, and then so it developed into faith and like a deeper trust and like really like, being like, no, what I'm seeing around me are results that are blowing my mind.
Yes.
From the people around me.
It's like, that's possible for me too.
That's possible for me too.
Yeah.
Precisely. I was like, and it was painful. I realized how painful it was to believe anything different. It was painful.
You were not this person when we first talked. I just have to say, you were just like, no, seriously. But I'm just so proud of you because like it just feels so natural for you now. And just for all of you who are watching, I know I receive messages from people, even from some clients who are like, Juliana, I'm comparing myself to you or to your clients or to other people. And it feels like every time that people share wins, it feels like, oh, I'm not there yet. It feels painful because you feel like I'm definitely missing something. I'm not doing something right. Therefore, I'm not meant for this, or like I'm never gonna get there. And I just want to tell you, like, I feel like I know what that feels like because I did it for so long, and probably Caitlin had some of that too, right? Like other people are doing it. And what I just want to share is what Caitlin is saying is you want to use every piece of evidence that the other people's success as part of what you can do, what is possible for you, because what is the other option? To compare yourself and get yourself, and just be like stressed and, down on yourself. Like, you can do that, but like, is that going to get you the results you want? No. And so the mindset that I really always teach my clients is like, how can we use everything that feels like is a flaw to become your greatest strength? Like, how can we flip any flaw and make that be one of the greatest things that are, unique about you, including comparing yourself to other people that might seem like they're doing it great. It's like, okay, so they're doing it great, but like, what am I doing that's really well too? Or like, what have they done to get there that I don't even see, right? And I think for you just like rolled up your sleeves and you're like, all right, I'm committed to this. What is it going to take? And I am just going to go get it. Like, my piece of the pie is hanging out there in the space. I just need to go grab it, right?
Yep. Yeah, and do the work. I'm a preacher queen of like, do the work, man. Like nobody, not a one of my mentors or anyone who's reached a certain, multiple 6-figure, 7-figure status, like work their butts off, and not in some like painful way, but like passionately work. And there's some weird, mindset that I see, online, and especially around like feminine entrepreneurs, that it's just supposed to flow and be easy. And like, you don't have to like, you just get to receive. And well, yes, there's that too. But you gotta like do the things. And so, I rolled up my sleeve and I rolled it up even more. And like, okay, I'm getting in there. Yes. And then of course signed up for your masterminds. Yeah. And with your help and Maria, who's the copy coach, it was like an energetic fulcrum to help everything occur too. You guys had such phenomenal support and so much support around copy. Hello. I mean, talk about that alone was, just a boot camp, boot camp for content, and so I feel that much more confident and clear on, how to serve via showing up online to create this kind of, I talk about this a lot, like in my groups, it's like almost like a reputation that precedes you, and I'm finding people coming to me now, there's that magnetism, but the magnetism wouldn't be there without my showing up and doing the things.
Exactly.
So then people are like, wow, I'm really watching you. Wow, what's she doing? Kind of.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So I'm that person, which is really cool. And, and then finding out about working with me and stuff. Yeah. So it's a two-way street. You like show up, do the content, you do the upgrades. I've done a lot to upgrade my brand and to really step into my brand. It's a big part of it. And then that deep, and I said this to you, before the call, like, determination. Yeah. I was determined.
Yeah.
Deeply determined.
So I actually want to go back just a second on something that you shared, and I like want to go deeper there because one of the things that you shared when you applied is that you were essentially applying methods where you had to reach out to people. That was like all you knew. It was like, I just know how to reach out to people, but that doesn't feel in alignment. And then you came to enroll in the mastermind, and you're like, I want to join because I want this whole magnetic thing that's going on, that you got going on, Juliana. You're like, I would love to be magnetic. I want this magnetism happening for me. And so tell me how that has felt for you, knowing that you don't have to go and reach out to people and that people are coming to you. You literally have become the living and breathing example of what it looks like to magnetize and monetize, which is the name of my program. So,
hello, and so basically,
what is it that how does it feel for you now, like in your life, to know that you wake up and you're like, people are coming to me? Like, what is the difference that has made in your life?
It feels like that, like
like it doesn't have to be hard. Right?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. I mean, you got to do the thing,
right?
But it doesn't have to be hard. And there's like an energetic. I find it's like you create. I call it a vortex. I find myself calling it that a lot, but like a vortex around yourself. You create energy. You create a feeling. You create light. And like people are drawn. You create successful energy, basically, that is true. It's absolutely authentic, and like that. And I know this, that people are like, wow, what is that? I want that. That feels amazing. And so on this side, it's like, well, and I mean, honestly, there's also a part of me that's like, oh, like pinch you, or like, pinching myself, like, wow, it's working.
Was this possible the whole time? Oh my God, I can't believe it's happening.
It's like, and that kind of like, not who me, because I think I feel actually I feel clear on who I am and what I've done to create this, but there is kind of like, wow, whoa,
totally.
And then there's always the next goal and the next desire and stuff, and it's ongoing, but
So tell us about the number of clients that you sign in your launch. Let's move a little bit forward, because you had this $19,800 a month. And then after we did a live stream and then now you had this 45K launch. And so tell us about the numbers so that people understand how many people you signed, because it wasn't like hundreds of clients to have people think that to have a 100K launch, 120, 140 or 45K launch, you need to have like so much, you need to invest in ads, you need to invest in all these things. So I just want to like show people how simple the strategy was, and like how how simple it can be. So tell us about your numbers, and like tell us about the team that you use, if you used any team at all.
Team Caitlin. And then you guys.
Plug my microphone.
Maria was a big help during the last couple weeks of the launch. So I skipped ahead to team, but and I do have a couple VAs that I work with who are helping me with some of the techie stuff. But primarily I do everything myself. That's cool with me, because I purposely, my vision, at least for now, is that I prefer less clients and, greater premium prices than quantity. That can cause burnout and overwhelm, right?
Amen. So I love that you just said that, because that is if you're watching this and you're like, no, Juliana, I want to impact millions of people now, and I want you to help me sell 1 million spots for my membership that's $55. I'll be like, I'm not your person.
Right? No,
I am your person if you want to work with high quality premium clients and you want to go deep with them, which is what I've done with all my clients. And why do you love that?
It feels it's more solid. There's more of me to give to each person. There's more of me to give, and I call it a base note, like your 5-figure months, whatever, like you've got a really beautiful, you're coming from overflow. You're coming from, you use the word, I love this word, sufficiency. There's like a deep sufficiency, and I feel like I can give that much more quality. And then thereby receive greater quality. It becomes quality, not quantity.
Totally.
Is the most basic way. Yeah. So the mastermind, it's a 6-month mastermind. And again, it's the A to Z of like basically building an online business, everything from who's your ideal client to, your messaging, your content, your launch, like the whole flip and gamut, right? It's all in there. And I had thought 7 women. I was like, if I could get 7 women.
That's right.
I got 8.
You got 8. That you oversold it. Yeah.
Yeah. I went over my number and all like, I'm in love with them,
Yes.
I'm in love with these women. They're amazing. And again, or maybe I didn't say this on the live, but their quality of commitment is just this whole next level. Like they're just so into it. And the content that I've created, like everybody's just eating up the PDFs and the videos and it's got like such incredible energy. So there's 8 with the initial, and so then
8 clients in your mastermind, and
then I signed 2 additional one-on-one clients during that launch. Yep.
Great. Awesome. So that's just for everyone to know when we say these numbers, like what it took. And you didn't have any ads. You joined my mastermind. So you invested in that, which was not $45,000. I can guarantee you that.
No.
And you had the support of my copy coach and myself, and that's really and you did the work, right? So just for everyone to know, like, you didn't have a crazy list, you had a small group, right? You have a group of how many people? 300 people?
Like 350 or something like that. Yeah.
So that's really all we did, just for everyone to know. What did she do? Oh my God, what is this crazy strategy that Juliana, this is all we used, right? We just use things very strategically. And here's a secret, you guys. The reason why Caitlin has all these clients that are action takers, that she's in love with, and that she's like delighted, working with them, is because we spoke to them in her message. Like we got so clear on who is it that she wants to attract, and we elevated the quality of client that she wanted to attract. Yep. We did a lot of work around her believing that client was actually a thing, like a living human that was willing to pay her money. So those are all the things we work on, and that is the thing that I recommend that you work on, right? Like honestly, I wish you could work on YouTube ads and in Pinterest and all this stuff. If you want to do that, go ahead, totally great. But if you don't have a YouTube channel, if you don't have a super big Instagram account, if you don't have any of those things, or if you have a small or even just some medium-sized audience, you can really monetize that in the most aligned way when you have a really clear message. And when you decide to believe in your offer, and believe that those clients are out there. Like really, that's the work that we do together. And of course, if you have a simple strategy that you can follow, that you can literally plug and play. Because Caitlin, if I told you, let's just say you're signing up for the next round of the mastermind, so I know you are, but let's say that you weren't. Let's say that you were just gonna go alone and you were gonna launch your own program. Like, do you feel like you have the steps that you would need to take on your own to repeat the results?
Yeah. Yep.
Amazing. This is exactly, this is so important, because I know so many people are out there feeling like, oh my God, how do I even get that result? And then how do you repeat it? Right? And how do you sustain it? Predictability. And one of the things that I always want to equip all my clients with is this feeling of like, you can sit around on New Year's Eve, plan your year like what I do, and know, yep, this is what I'm doing. I just need to go and execute the plan, but I know what I'm doing. Like I know how to repeat my results. I just need to coach myself through it, but I have the plan. I know this plan works, right? And what is it like? The predictability in business is the holy grail, right?
It is.
It's like, okay, making money is good, but how do you create it sustainably, and how do you predict your revenue? Like, it's everything. So you feel confident in your ability, even if you weren't going to work together, to lay out the plan and do it yourself, right?
Yeah. And, another, I would say, massive mindset shift as you're saying this is like, I'm going to be in your mastermind in the fall, and I'm going to be preparing for my next launch at that time. And I now have like a confidence that was not necessarily there before.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I like, based on everything you just said, I'm like, I'm going to have the support but I'm also know what to do. And I'm going to be able to do it even at a next level, because I'm also going to have my entire coursework built out. Oof. Like, so which is going to help me to raise my prices and my value to go even higher and higher. And so it's just like, kind of like this sense of like I made it.
Yeah.
And it's not, that doesn't mean it's like I cruise forever. No, there's going to be the next launch and but there's like that predictability, that rhythm, that knowing that if, knowing how to do the right things and doing them is going to create a certain results. And it only increases upon itself.
Totally.
I think that's like a really important thing for people to understand. There's always a fear, but it's like, and you said this before the call, like we're going.
Like what I was saying, for all of you who are watching, you weren't, because we had just started. Kaylin just shared like her wins, and I just had a moment where I was just got overwhelmed with because it's like all my clients and like everyone is just like, we're all like, the train has left the station and we're just going, and it's like the momentum is just like, everybody's just like having their wins. And it's not just monetary wins. Like, even if I have clients watching who are not having who haven't had their 100K launch yet, like, you're all having so many transformations and wins that it just feels like everybody's just like on this upward spiral. And then your clients are in an upward spiral, and then my clients, and it's just like this like vortex. It truly is a vortex. And it's like the momentum that you create from like being around people who are in that vortex, it just like really takes you. It's like the tailwind, you know what I mean? It's like you get taken. Good. Yeah. It
is so good. And like, and it's where like making that powerful decision, like anybody, and like this is for ourselves, right? Like, and something, I know I talk about this with Alok a lot, is like, you've got to like be the client that you want to have.
Yes.
That's also what happened. Yes. I would like to think I've been a really great client.
You were a great client. You were like, let's motherfucking go and apply all of the things.
I'm not like dragging my heels. I'm not coming up with excuses. Yep. I'm not like the lag. Because think of like the energy of the lag, and like that train is going, you're going to get hurt, or like, you're just not going to catch the train. And you might get hurt trying to get on it while you're also still holding on to that old energy. Yeah. So it's like, it's all about that alignment, but where was I going with that thought? Essentially,
just like being around people that like are going. Yeah,
being around people and being the client that you also want to have, that you be the client you want to have, and that creates the energy of awesome clients. Yeah. Because you're that person who's like, I'm going to put, I'm going all in.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Oh, sorry to interrupt, but I just want to actually ask something that came up for me, which was, why did you decide to join the next round of the mastermind? Why aren't you just deciding to like go and plug and play the system and like, or whatever your process, and like do it alone?
That is a really fantastic question, because I went through, like when it was, I was like, am I not, right. Like the most like non-emotional but like basic word, I was like, this is the wisest business decision I could possibly make. It was just the most intelligent. It was like, it felt like unintelligence to try to do it on my own.
Oh my God.
Even as far as I've come, I'm like, nope, I'm in the right hands. I've got the right support. I love Juliana. I love Maria. Like, I know this works. And like, I just like, and I watched my own, like, kind of like the little primal brain. I got, there was fear, and this will happen. This happens. Anybody who's ready to go and make yet another big leap, that like lion coming out of the jungle, and that whatever that primal fear is, will try to kind of usurp it. And I walked myself through that process, because I was like, oh, here comes the lion. Here comes that, like, oh no, I'm gonna get eaten if I do this thing. But my really wise, clear, like non-emotional self was just like, no, this is exactly what my business, this is what I need to grow my business.
And you know what, I actually remember you made that investment before you had the 45K launch, and it was scary. So you, like, for all of you who are watching, it wasn't like she made a 45K launch and then she decided to join the next round, because I invited her to join before she had finished her launch. So at that point, you hadn't made all this money, and it was scary, and you're like, ooh, shit, am I gonna? And then you did it, which is amazing. Like, it's like,
even though I'd already been in your mastermind, it was the second time was even scary. That was like, because I knew. I think I knew. And sure enough, the second I made that decision, because that was
yes, right? Exactly.
There went the train, right?
The train left the station.
It kept moving, and I think I just knew. I was like, there is another version of me who stays stuck, who lives in fear, who has doubts, who, doesn't believe, who like has those old programs. And it was literally, and that's kind of like the primal limiting belief brain.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And I watched it. It was cool. And I was even
like, here it goes. Sorry, go ahead.
I was describing to one of my clients about this recently, and this is another amazing mindset shift, is that I'm like, that which used to seem like the big lion that was going to eat me alive, now it almost doesn't have room to exist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like the doubts are so small because I've really stepped into another type of energy that really does feel unstoppable, and it's like it doesn't entertain it.
Right.
Like I think I used to be like, oh yeah, I believe that, and it's like, no, that's not what I believe, and I know that, and like I actually, because I have the evidence that I've created.
Yeah. Right.
So I can.
But wait, you have the evidence now, and I think this is so powerful for everyone who's watching, because you're probably sitting there watching these live stream and thinking like, oh my God, another success story. Juliana's talking about her clients. They're just bragging about her mastermind. Oh my God, that's so nice for her and for Caitlin. But what about me? I don't believe that yet. Like I feel fear. I feel stuck. Like I don't know. So am I just like, what can I do now? So like, let's tell people, what did you do in those moments when you didn't have the evidence? And when, for example, guys, there was a time in Caitlin's launch where there was a dip in sales. Nobody applied, right? And I told her, this is normal. This is exactly what needs to happen. So it was good you had me in your corner, because otherwise you would have been like, something's terribly going wrong. I'm like, no, this is normal. It's okay.
Or I might have given up, right?
Yes. But
potentially.
Exactly. Totally. I gave up many times before I knew this was normal. I was like, nobody's applying, so I'm just going to close up the shop and not tell anyone.
Forget about it.
Right? This is like 2 years ago. And then I realized, oh, wait, it's normal for people. This is just how launches work. Okay, great. So what did you do? Or what can we leave people with to kind of wrap it up and tell them, what are the things what were your primary beliefs that you had in the middle between when you were not making this amount of money, not being certain, now you are certain for the most part, right? But what are those like ladder beliefs that you had, so that everybody can just like really see what was your mindset like throughout? Like, what were the beliefs that helped you get through those moments?
This is a good question. I'm kind of searching.
Yeah, simple thoughts like it's possible that somebody's. I know for me, I'll tell you while you're thinking. I'll tell you mine. So when I experience gaps, like in my launches, like I know lots of people apply in the beginning, and then there are gaps. I'm like, this is totally normal. This is part of what it looks like when it works. That's like my favorite belief ever. Like, this is what it looks like when it works. This is what it looks like for me to have a sold out launch. Like, my clients I know they're already there. My only job is to show up until the very end, until the very last day. Like, those kinds of beliefs are what keep me like going. And then when I lose belief in like my offer, for example, it's like, people are actually going to buy this? Then I go back and I look at what are the things that I believe about my offer, and why do I believe my offer is the best thing that could ever happen to anyone? And then I connect with that again, and then I write from that place. I do live streams from that place in full belief that my offer, like now I believe that my offer is the Rolls Royce of my niche of marketing. I really just have that belief now because I have lots of evidence. But back then, when I hadn't even launched it the first time, I'm like, I think I can help a couple of people. I think I can help 5 people, maybe 10 people with my offer. I'm willing to try it out. I think there are 10 people who could pay me. It's possible that they are out there. Those were my latter beliefs. Like, I didn't start and like, my course is that my program is the Rolls Royce of marketing. It's too much of a jump, right? I started there, you know what I mean? And like, it's possible that people want to pay me for this. So tell me a couple of the ones that you would offer that were helpful for you.
Yeah, I'm still kind of, it's funny. I'm like, what exactly is it? I mean, I know one thing I spoke of in our last live and mentioned, is there was that moment when I used to kind of enter my sales process it was unconscious, I think, but it was kind of like, I need a client.
Yes, that one. Yes.
Coming from more like, that, I hate to use the word desperation, but kind of.
No, totally. It
like
is.
That energy. And definitely I know one coaching call I had with you where you were like, actually start to show up as the woman who's fully booked. Start to show up as the woman who's making 7 figures already. Start to show up from that energy. And then even more so for me, as the mind shift was like, be in service, no matter what the outcome. Like that's the whole point.
Just got chills.
You're going to do it. Like, it's kind of like you're going to be love. You're going to be generous. You're going to give. You're going to do your purpose no matter the fuck what.
Yeah.
In this life, I am, and I always have. But like now with this whole other, dimensionality that's amazing and even like heightened purpose. But like really being like, all right. And so when I show up on a sales call, I'm like, I'm in service.
Yeah.
So, this person is gifting me their time. They're gifting me, in some cases, vulnerable information.
Yes.
I'm going to commit to this being a transformative process, no matter what the outcome. So that was literally huge.
That was so
because
big.
I didn't show up with like that like layer of like like nervousness. Even like I can show up to sales calls now and just be like, okay, I'm on my throne and I'm present.
Yep.
And listening, and I'm there for them.
Which is all. That is our job. That is all.
Yeah.
That's our entire job. Listen, understand, question, help people make a powerful decision that is in the most alignment with their vision. That's really what sales is all about for me. Like, I'm never attached to whether people sign with me or not. I just want them to get what they want out of life. And if I can help them, then I will tell them I can help you. Here's how. And they get to make a decision whether they want to work with me or not based on what they desire. That's it, right? When there's like this energy of like unattached, like I don't need a client. I would love to serve somebody and help them transform, but I don't need a client. And even when I didn't have clients, I had to get myself in that energy of like, I don't need a client. I don't need a client. I don't need a client.
Like this isn't gonna my entire soul's worth is not dependent on whether or not this person says yes to me.
Absolutely not. It's like it's such a powerful I just want everyone to just really get that feeling of like I don't need a client. It's just I want to serve. That's all I want to do. I want to serve. Right. And I'm going to coach hard on the call and I'm going to be a stand for their vision. And of course, I'm going to be strategic and I'm going to take action. I'm going to go all motherfucking in because it's my purpose. But I'm also doing it for the fun of it. And I'm doing it because I couldn't do anything else. Even if people pay me $10 million, I would still want to show up, do live streams, coach, have clients. Like there's no other option for me. Right. And so it's like I'm doing it because God put this desire on my heart. And like I know this is my purpose. So how long will I take to just get behind? I love that God put this desire on my heart. Yeah. No, seriously. And then into like and we talked about this in the last call, but like the spirit that came in, for you we can call it God if we want, but a spirit took over as well. That was like, and again, it was kind of me getting out of my own way. That's and all those self-sabotaging energies. Yeah. And it really is so simple. It's like you're, which wolf are you going to feed? Totally. There's that thing, but it's like, and literally, and I was actually talking to a client about that. When those energies are they take up the space. Totally. And you're operating from that energy. But something happened that my commitment aligned with, God's desire on my heart. I love that so much. Lined up with the belief that, I can have this too. I know I can do this. Hello, show me what to do. Yay, thanks, Juliana and Maria. And all the, the alignment of all those pieces, but that deeper, and that's why it's so important, to both, choose a business that you're passionate about, right? And that you believe in, like in your core, and that, of course, you're going to be serving people that you would love to serve, like that being, all the pieces are just like line. Go, there goes that freight train, there goes that like light speed, like gorgeous train that's taking us where we want to go and beyond. Who knows? I can't even see where it's going yet. It's pretty exciting. So good. Yeah. So Jessica's saying, which wolf are you going to feed? That's it. It's like, which one do you want to feed? Because you have two options. It's the option of feeding your dream or feeding the other gremlins. And you know what? Here's what also actually something that I just want to leave everyone with as we wrap up is simply that like, there is a misconception that it's only, like I was just saying this to a client on Voxer, that like, I just have to feel so confident, like Juliana or like your client or whatever, like this other person. I just need her confidence to be able to attract people. I just need to feel so aligned and so clear and like fear-free for me to be able to get it done and to attract the clients, because otherwise I'm not going to be an energetic match for clients. And I can tell you that I have made so much money feeling like I'm not confident. Like in the past, like there are times where I'm like, yep, today I don't feel good at all, but I'm going to show up for this Facebook Live and I'm going to serve my heart out, even though I'm shaking, even if my voice is shaky, even if like I'm sweaty, even if I'm like, forget my words, even if I lose track of what I'm saying, I'm still going to go and show up and do it, because the only way that you gain the confidence is by practicing doing it. Is like exposure to fear, and then you feel like, oh, I can actually do this, and then that's what creates the results too. You don't have to be some like perfectly aligned person that doesn't have any negative beliefs. That's like such a misconception. Don't wait for that. Do it while it feels hard. Like even if it feels hard, move through it, dance with it. Don't wait for it to like go away, because you're going to be waiting forever. So that's my coaching philosophy. And so for all of you who are watching who are like, I want that, send me a message. But for those of you who are like, no, wait, I just want to take action when I feel totally like delicious only, like, okay, no, maybe it's not going to, we're not meant to be.
I did a live a couple weeks ago that I can't remember the exact title, but it was something like, showing up even on a bad hair day. Because my hair, to me, it was just like, I don't know what it was doing. And it was exactly your point. It was like, no, you're never going to look perfect, or maybe you are in some moments, but like chances are, there's days you don't sleep good. Like you show up, and that is, and thanks for bringing that up. Because like, yes, having all the pieces that align to help move the ship, but that doesn't mean you're always going to feel
in alignment.
You're not going to feel like some like radiant angel every single second.
That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like the difference between like feeling purposeful versus, just you're feeling on purpose. Like this is what I know I'm meant to be doing, and like I'm gonna go do it. Or I don't know if this is what I'm meant to be doing, but I want to do it now. So I'm just gonna go give it a go, because I like don't, that's what I want. And I remember you showing up when people weren't even watching your live stream. Sometimes you were doing like some live streams and like no views, or people 1 or 2, or then you had 10, and then you had a couple, and you were like, yep, I'm gonna show up the next day. I'm gonna show up the next day. Oh, and the last thing I wanted to say on that is we're not saying ignore your emotions and push through. We're not saying that. We're saying love yourself at every step of the way, no matter where you're at. No one showed up for your live stream, love yourself. You had 10 people, love yourself. You made $1 or $0, love yourself. You made $10,000, love yourself. Like it's like we love ourselves at all points, at all times, and that is really what we develop, like the capacity to accept ourselves at all points, which is what makes you relax. And then that's when the 45K launches happen, the 113,000 cash months happen, like my month last month. And it's like, oh, I didn't even notice that I made $113,000 in cash. Like, oh, it's just like, okay, here it is, right? But it's because it's just like, I'm not looking for that to be a point of reference to know whether I love myself or not. Or the thing that's
going to make you happy.
Yeah. It's like, no, I love myself, even if I make $0 next month. It's totally fine. And it's such a good point, like how you show up in every step of the way, like no matter what's occurring. And I think it's so important because people put so much importance on how many likes we get, right? And it's true. I've gotten crickets. Like a lot of my content I put out, I was like, oh, there's 2 people, woohoo! But that's not the point. It's not even the point. It's about me showing up, whether there's 1 person in the audience, or I did have a live, because I do these interviews, and I had, over 1,000 people watched already. And I'm like, wow. Right. But really, I'm not that fazed by it. I'm like, that's awesome. Yay. And then what? Let's go. It's
kind of like, I'm like, really amazing. Cool. This, but because another live only gets 100 and something, it's we place so much importance on these like little marks, and that's not it. It's about showing up.
Yes.
With God's desire on your heart. I think that's like my favorite thing I've heard all week. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for being here. I just love you. I can't wait to blow it up on the next round of the mastermind. Thank you.
It's going to be amazing.
So much. And for all of you who are watching, I really hope that this was helpful and that you write down some of these beliefs that have helped us and some of these things, because I know you're probably watching, or even if you just are catching the tail end, or if you just watch half of it, I don't care. take something and apply it. Don't just let this be a reason why you're comparing yourself to other people, or let this be a reason to, feel like I'm never gonna get there or whatever. Let this be evidence that this is also available. You are already in the energetic space of people who are creating these results. Even if you're just watching this, you're literally are absorbing what the possibility of what it could look like for you to have these kinds of results. So just like love yourself in that moment, love yourself throughout the whole step and throughout the whole journey. And if you want to apply for my mastermind, it's closed right now, but the next round starts in September. So I can't wait to have you. Send me a message and I'll send you the application form. And
you, like, it will be the smartest business decision of your life.
Okay. Anything else?
Yep.
There you go. That's what Kayla wanted to say, just so you know.
There you go.
There you go.
There's my plug.
Mic drop.
All truth.
All righty. So, Caitlin, where can people find you if they're curious about your work and who you are?
You can find me at CaitlinAirmore.com. You can find me on Instagram, Caitlin Airmore. You can find me on my Facebook page, Caitlin Airmore. And of course, my brand is The Modern Queen, and I'm all about women becoming queens of their own lives as they build their queendoms of business, prosperity, and healing wonder. So yeah, you can find me, Caitlin Airmore, any old place.
Good. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. I love you so much.
Yeah, I love you too. It's so amazing. Yay.
And I love all of you who are watching. Thank you for staying through the end. And I will see you in the next Client Spotlight series.
Yeah.
Bye.